Hello, this is Mike, NoStressMike.com. I want to talk about when the shit hits the fan. I'll tell you, a lot of times, and what it is, and you're not home, you're not in the secured area that you've prepared. You're on the road, you're at work, you're more than likely, let's say you're in town, in a city type environment. Now, I don't really push products. It's tactics that I push, and seldom do I do products. And the reason is I believe the tactics is more important than anything. But there are certain things, if you're caught on the road or, like I say, away from your safe area, there's things you should have in your car. And I'm not going to go into all these things. I've already, I think I already made a video on it. If not, it's on my website. Got a hotspot ready list at NoStressMike.com, and it tells you everything you need. But anyway, some of the things I really want to stick out in front of you so you know and you have it in your car no matter what, and that will be a backpack, some very good hiking boots or combat boots, something really good and comfortable that you can walk with, and let's see, a water bottle. Let's see, this is just a little old cheapo with a filter on it. You have to have water. Now, I have freeze-dried food in my bag, and so I have a little something to munch on in case I have to. But also, it'll be and there's going to be other stuff too, but that's not, I'm not trying to get into all that. But what it is will be a Smith & Wesson hammerless 38. It's a 5-shot Airweight, and it's a 5-shot, just a little dinky thing. It's not real impressive. It runs about $400, $450, something like that. And they've got some cheaper models in the way of other manufacturers and stuff like that. I don't know. I don't really recommend it, but I don't say no. This type of a gun, it's a little small 38 revolver. They're no fun to shoot. All you really need to do is you buy the thing and you just you go out and you load it maybe 3 or 4 times and just shoot it, you know. So it's no big deal because it's not really a primary weapon. But when you're on foot, that is the weapon that you really need. You really do need. And I'll tell you what it is. Okay, when a bad situation arises, you don't always have notice. People make a big deal about the martial law kind of stuff like that. Well, I've been in martial law, and I know what it's like. And as a matter of fact, where I'm at, we're in it right now. And but there's different degrees of martial law, and so, you know, I'm not going to go into that. But anyway, you might notice there's more law enforcement, maybe a few Humvees, armored vehicles, people running around with rifles. That's a good sign of martial law. And I mean, when I say people running around, I'm talking about military type people or even police. These are signs of martial law. There's not always, you know, on TV and radio, well, it's martial law today, you know. You're not going to get that kind of a notice. Some of this stuff just kind of happens. And that's why they call it a shit hitting the fan kind of stuff. But what it is, more than likely, they're not going to touch you. Once they go into martial law, if it's right at the beginning of martial law, is there's a lot of panic. There's a lot of people not knowing what's going on and this type of stuff. And the people, the troops that are doing it, they're trained, but they've never had to really do it in a reality type situation. And if they did it in another world, not in this world. So it's different each place you go. And so it's going to take them a little while before they figure out that they need to touch everybody. They will, good chance anyway, they will look in your backpack. Your like big knives and stuff like that probably wouldn't be a good idea. Like I say, I use a K-bar or something like that. Probably wouldn't be a good idea. I've had them stop me, I don't know, somewhere down here in Central America somewhere, and they were going through my bag and they found my K-bar, and they got a little excited. But I mentioned machetes because down here a lot of people have machetes, and so big machete and my K-bar, now come on, get serious. So they let me alone and let me keep my K-bar, but they could have taken it. But like I say, so under those kind of conditions, they are the law. That's what's called martial law. They make the rules, and what the rules they make, they can apply deadly force to enforce those rules. That's why nobody likes martial law. And matter of fact, talking about that, they even got me with a flare. One of these road flares you see where you strike them like a match, big match, and you strike it. So then when you have your car stalled or something, you put this flare out. They got me on that. And that, according to martial law, their laws, that was illegal to have. And they just confiscated it. And that's what they'll do. They'll confiscate anything they want. That's why you don't want a lot of valuable stuff. And I'm talking about valuable stuff. When you are walking, you don't want any jewelry and anything that's flashy that'll get your attention, anybody's attention. But anyway, so like I say, you may or may not have noticed that this martial law or bad things are happening. Let's say, like down here, electric goes out all the time. It's no big deal. Now I know in a lot of big cities, when electric goes out, crime goes up. So you got to watch out. And so you don't really have noticed this is going to happen. So these people that are doing the martial law, or they might be a militia, neighborhood militias that you're going to be having to deal with, and they won't be trained at all. So, but like I say, that's why I talk about that small 38 hammerless revolver. This is something that can stay in your pocket. So when you're walking, you put your hands in your pocket and you just walk with your hands and with your backpack on and your combat boots, and you're walking along. So, it's better if you can drive. So if you can drive, you can drive, but sometimes that is not always the feasible way to go. It might be walking might be the way to do it, or hitching a ride and this type of stuff. But that's why you have this small hammerless revolver. It's only 5 shots. It's in your pocket. Nobody sees it. Once you bring this weapon out, I guarantee after bad times are here, everybody's going to have bigger guns than yours. I guarantee it. You are not a badass walking down the road. This road has got many badasses. You don't want to be one. You're just a lonely little person that's just going from point A to point B, and that's it. You don't want no trouble. You don't want nothing. And you're just walking along with your hands in your pocket. And when they come around you, you go around them. Try to keep your movement going, your walking, your forward motion going all the time. Don't stop. when you're in a situation like that and these people are watching you and seeing you, they want you stopped. Now once you're stopped, even when you're walking, in the car it's bad, I hate being stopped. But even when you're walking, you stop, you've opened yourself up, you can be victimized very easily. So even if it's a slow walk, they want to talk to you, they can walk along next to you, not too close. And you make sure you ask them, you be polite. Remember, there's always time for manners. And you ask them politely to please stay away. That, just tell them, I'm in fear, so I mean, this is tricky times now, so it's best if you just kind of stay a little bit further away from me. And now this little old 38 is only good for maybe 3 or 4 foot. That's about all the range is on that thing. It'll shoot further than that. You can put a bullet out further than that, but that's not the point. The point is to keep your own little personal area safe, especially at this time. So you want to keep moving all the time. And then when you do come to a stop, you go to a stop to an edge, like if you're going like cities, you go off to the side. Don't stop out there in the middle of the road there where everybody can see you. Get off to the side in a crack of a building or something like that, like right here. There's a little ledge right here. So you just stay in that little ledge right there. So you're protecting your back. And then that's where you're going to get something to drink and something to eat. Make sure you stay, lots of water. You have to have water. Continue drinking in water. Continue drinking it. And then when somebody comes around you, when you see people, you put your water bottle back in your backpack. And if you can get, like I say, a gallon or 2, get that. And put that in your backpack. And but what you drink when you feel safe, and you continually drink while you're safe. And then when times get tricky, then you put it away, because now you got to focus on how to stay safe. So you continue going. You might boy, it's on places to go, how to do it. There's good and bad in all of this. In good public roads, there's good and bad in being in that. When you're on these well-traveled roads, there's going to be lots of people that want to stop you, want to see what you have, want to see where you're going, got questions and all this kind of stuff. And so, that's good and bad. It's good to know that a lot of traffic is still moving, even if it's foot traffic, but it's also bad because they could be taking opportunity of moments, and that's what they're doing. They're looking for weak spots where they can get to you, and so it's good and bad. Now another thing would be going to an out-of-the-way type area, kind of like going along railroad tracks and this type of stuff. There's not much traffic there, so that's good. The bad thing is there's not much traffic there. So you might have people that don't have all these fancy guns. The ones with the fancy guns are going to be where the traffic is. The ones without the fancy guns, in other words, the ones with little small handguns or maybe sticks, bow and arrows, this type of stuff, they will be going along the less traveled areas. That's what I'm talking about, the railroad or back alley type places, So now we're right back again. You don't pull your weapon out, but you make sure that they understand to stay away from you. And just like I said, you keep moving. Anytime you're moving in a situation like I've been describing, it's better when you can do it in a group. Now, the bigger the group, I don't know. I don't like big groups. And the reason I don't like big groups is the bigger your group, the bigger the chance you're going to have an asshole, somebody that's going to get you in trouble. So I like to keep my groups as small as possible, and the smaller groups are easier to be fed and kept control of. The bigger groups are more intimidating. So, you know, you got good and bad and all this type of stuff. You just have to kind of figure this out. And especially if you're going to be in a bigger group, in this bigger group, try to find a smaller group in this bigger group. Boy, we're right back to the three-man militia type thinking. Okay, when you're in this bigger group, even though you're all strangers, you have to feel out some people that you're like-minded. You know, you don't want to tell them you're armed. You don't want to tell them, you know, you got water, you don't have food, you know. You don't want to tell them all this stuff. Not yet. Now, as you get to know them and you see their physical abilities, not only in health, but if they're capable of fighting and taking care of themselves, these are the kind of people you want to kind of get close to. And you need to keep your little group of this big group so then you can trust each other. And surprising, in hard times, you learn to trust people, especially with your life, in a short amount of time. And be ready. You're going to have to make allies out of some of these people. And there's no problem with it. But you're going to have to be picky on who it is that you're going to be doing it with. And you have to be able to be strong yourself and let them know you're strong without being overpowering. Because remember, we talked about that asshole. It's just these assholes that think they're the badass, and boy, I'm gonna lead you through all this. That's the kind of person you got to watch out for. The kind of guy that's gonna argue and think he's got all the answers. That's the one you need to be scared of. Now we're right back to all the stuff I've been talking about. Being nice, being polite, and having the means and the abilities to bribe or seek cooperation. So keep all this in mind as you're going to your safe area. There's nothing wrong with catching rides, trying to get something to eat as you're going along. You don't wait till you're hungry, just kind of like you don't wait till you're thirsty to drink. So you keep all this in mind on the stuff you're going to be carrying in the bag and windows of opportunity that you're going to find on your way. In other words, when somebody offers you something to drink, you know, and it's sealed water, it's good water, you know it is, go on and take their water, even though you do have water. Or you might be able to pick up some extra water, see if they have some extra water that you can take with you. And like always, it's always nice to be polite, and if you can, be able to bribe. I don't know how many times I have passed a location and have gone down to find out the road is out, or my motorcycle or car broke and I have to return to deal with the same people that I've already dealt with. That has happened a lot. That's why you use manners and bribe if you can, and be nice, because it may not be the last time you see these people. But anyway, let's just share a little bit of ideas on how to get home after bad times strike. This is Mike, NoStressMike.com.